back to your Fit Legs Challenge, part 3 of the leg series. So, get your glute band. There's lots of things that can't be done out there, but there's many things we can still do in here and with our own physique. The third part is going to be split legs. You're going to try and get your legs working separately rather than constantly having symmetry. You will start there with the squat. You will make sure that the band feels as though it's already been activated just for your squat position. Use a bar, a work surface or whatever, core connect everything, and then slowly into your squat and back up. Remember, for this workout we do around 45 seconds in the positioning like this, the squats, and then we'll do 15 seconds with the breathing. Every time you go into these squats, you pull gently against the band, asking the outside of the thigh and the outside of the foot to work. You more or less do around 20 at this pace in your 45 seconds if you want to get that sense of what's really happening. So we're coming to the end of this moment. Are you ready? If you see me slightly turning my head, I'm looking at the clock. Okay, and standing up. So what you do now, you do your breathing, deep breathing in and out to keep the trunk hydrated. You're ready for your next position, which will take you into a lunge. I'm going to split my legs back already, ready for that next count. So here we go. We go 1, step back, take your weight behind, and step 2. Why we're using the bar is that then we have symmetry. We don't ever want increased workload through the joints without symmetry. You're doing 10-ish with this leg lead. Okay, so I've got my left leg going back and forth, tapping forwards, and then you're going to change sides. So we take it, lunge back, tap forwards. Sit your weight through both legs and resist that twisting over sideways. Use your breathing muscles to help trunk stabilise, and you're looking to keep the alignment. Here we go, just 2 more. Last time, that lovely lunge back, and you're going for your breath. Ready then for the side leg push. So you find your position slightly wider than normal. Take your hand in place, find this squat position. The leg's going to go, are you ready? 1, 2. As you feel the band expand with the thighs pushing against it, the line that your foot goes to, as you've understood, is a straight line parallel with the leg you stood on. And that makes this around 10. Changing sides, create that symmetry, and if you get anything happening through the front of the hip, you've tucked your bottom under, therefore come out of the depth of the squat and do much more of a almost upright reach. So the leg reaches. If you're not getting any pain anywhere except this activation of the glute med and max, then life is going well. All right, and up you stand, ready for your breathing. Next activity is your hamstring curl. So you find yourself back to where your squat would have been. Have your breathing muscles happening while we wait for this start. And then slide this leg back. Are you ready? Hamstring curl. 10 on this left leg working. Stood on your right leg. Doesn't matter which leg you've started with. Resist twist. As the leg heels, as the heel pulls to the bottom, are you ready to change sides? So find your symmetry, stretch out the other leg, and then heel to the bum. There's a slight lift of the thigh behind, so you're pulling up and pulling up. There's no movement in the lower back, everything's stable, so your single leg stability, powering through the bigger muscles, the stabilizer's working to stop you twist, shift, or move into a weird shape. Last one, and up you come. Okay, from that position there then, you're going to take it into hands and knees. On your all fours, breathing, inhaling and exhaling as your breathing counts. 2 more deep breaths in and out. And we're going for hovering knees. You're going to go out, out, in against the band in. Reach, reach, come in and in. Do a tap and change the lead leg if you want. Keep the legs powering. If you want to slow it right down, that's fine. Whatever way, you might want to change it to the tap and push and tap and push. So you're either going in, and out, out, or you're tapping in and pushing out. You're breathing deeply in and out, your core connects, you're not losing your trunk stability, You feel the band making the legs work, at which point you're ready for your 15-second count. Standing ready for your final moment. This is going to be kind of side step. Get ready, keep breathing. This is the final one. Are you ready? Counting to now. So you're going to step and step. If you want to have your hands together like this to help you work with the stability, whichever way, you might find you can increase the reach of the legs. Obviously, the deeper you are into your hip hinge squat, the more workload you get going onto your side bottom. It's kind of nice feeling really, but I'm weird. Pull those thighs away, breathe, reach and breathe, keep landing through the heels. Nearly there, people. So you're reaching, tap, reach, tap. Now if you slowed it right down, everything here is where you're going to get it. So it's like right into this abductor area where we're weak, and let that go. Okay, you've done your exercises, 6 of them. We have a minute's rest before we go back again. So at this point, there should be this sense of, okay, yeah, I can do this, I can feel this. And are you ready to go for your squats? So get your body ready, got a little time to breathe still, but allow the alignment to know where it belongs. Get the pelvic position, relax the shoulders. And then when you're ready to do your squats again, make sure you can feel the outsides of the thighs. You're going to do exactly the same again, doing around 20-ish, moving on to the next activity where we split the legs up. All right, nearly there. You get another 15 seconds. It feels like a lifetime, doesn't it? So you're breathing in and you're breathing out to keep the core muscles working. So then when you get your big action, which is as now, you know where you are. So you're slowing this down. Inhale into the squat, breath out. To add intensity, you can push the thigh bones out against the band. Don't tuck the bottom under, and that is fundamental to understanding the lower spine needs and the pelvic conditioning. If you tuck under, you immediately miss all of the hamstrings and glutes. So the angle has to be at the hip without compromising the lumbar, the pelvis. Are you ready? 2 more. 1 more. And you're ready for your breathing. So your next activity is the lunge. You've got 15 seconds count for the breaths. I'll show you where you'll start your lunge. You've lunged back. You're sitting into the heel of the front leg, and we go 1. So split lunge is like a squat. You don't want any shift. You want to push backwards with the front leg and land on the balls of the foot, of the back foot, keeping the heel to the ceiling and maintaining symmetry by using the bar or the work surface. Okay, we change legs. Take the leg back and you're going to tap it back, find your lunge and. If you consider the band, you're pushing against the band and pulling against the band. Your big muscles using the piece of equipment, both in the bar area where you can keep your trunk upright, and the thighs where it tightens everything up, and let that go. Are you ready then for your sides? Finding your position into your squat. Down we go here, and push the side, pull back. So rather than it being frontal now, we're into the side abductor area as you reach and return. You should be biting into the side bottom. Once again, you definitely do not want to have it so that you're twisting. And we have the other leg. And it goes side, side. Remember, it's a straight line. If it's too intense, you come slightly out of the squat. Keep the alignment through the spine right the way down to the pelvis. Pelvic neutral position, no tucking the bottoms under. As you stretch out, return, and up to stand. Get breathing, you're ready for your hamstrings. So you'll find yourself trunk stabilising, waiting for that moment. Find the hinge at the hip, stretch out the right leg, it's back there, load the heel of the front leg, and it's up to you. Resist twisting of the upper body. Resist dropping at the hip. The leg that's pushing through the ground is the leg that's the front leg. The leg that's finding the hamstring curl is the back leg. It's so easy to twist the pelvis, don't do that. Changing sides, reach the leg and heel to bottom, heel to bottom. If you need to kind of do a little bit of a list, a lilt, a bit of rhythm, that would be your rhythm. But really when you're learning how to find those big muscles single without compromising everything else, you're better off with a more static connection. Okay, and last one there. I'm going to do the side walk first and then the all fours. So find that squat. This is the reach, reach. So we take it, reach, reach. You can dip and dip. You could even, if you want to walk 2 steps across, 2 steps back, we did this in the first video, or just keep it intense here and visualize the expansion every time you push your thigh. It's not your foot that reaches out, it's your thigh. Your thigh, your thigh. It's as though it's taking the body away from the center and drawing the whole posture over. It's possibly, I think, the most intense, but it's the most fantastic result, stabilizing the sides of the knees and obviously the lower back. Okay, you're nearly there. And let that go. All right, final of the sequence, set 2. Are you ready with your hovering knees, your alignment in all fours? Find that all fours hover, and it's out, out, in, in. Now, if you really want to add to the band, keep the feet as wide as the mat is. Don't let the knees roll in to the centre if you're reaching out. If it's too intense, simply keep centred in and out. Or you could do a patterning where you go out, out, wide, wide like a star, and then you can come in. Whichever way, shoulder blades are drawn down the back, abdominals are working really hard, and the thigh band making the work of the legs targeted, and let that go, reach back, and you're ready for your final set. So taking the breaths, thinking from heel to head. When we decide to do more powerful work, I would never ever encourage an age group that's beyond 35 to do it without the assistance of real stability alignment. It's not that this makes it easier, it makes it more accurate. So you keep breathing. You should be out of breath now. I appreciate I'm talking, but you should be out of breath as you wait for your final set. So just watching the clock. There's no reason why you can't kind of toe tap. I know when I sometimes work out with friends, I'll wander around in this moment of rest. I find it easy to recover my breathing by just doing some gentle movement. That's all your choice. Whichever way. Are we ready for the final set, where you'll start with your squats? So it's up to you whether you face your bar. You certainly want to find your thigh bones against the band. And we go. Slowly down. I'm going to do 10 full squats, using the breath in to go down and the breath out to push the floor away. When we've done the 10, press the thighs against the band, don't give in. You're going to stay down. Are you ready? And find your end range. In this position, if you feel stable, you can take your hands off this surface you're using. It's the most symmetrical shape we're doing because it's both legs doing exactly the same thing. You can't feel it in your lumbar spine, and you mustn't ever do something that takes you beyond your ability to stabilise everywhere. Okay, people, and up to stand. Coming up then is the lunge backwards and forwards. I'm going to just change this slightly and keep you back in the lunge. So find this shape while you're breathing, and that's where the back thigh is straight. So we're going to go 10. Now the emphasis has changed from general legs to specific quads. Your pelvic floor draws up, the navel draws in, and the right knee goes down, the heel stays to the ceiling, down, down. I'm going to stay here for the whole 45 seconds because you're worth it. You're breathing, you're aware of the ground with the outside of the left foot, the heel to the ceiling, and the pelvic core connection continuously feeding with the breath muscles, the stability from the hip bones to your armpits. Are you ready? This should be getting to the place where you think, yes. And come back. We're going to do the other side. Take the breather. Start to reach the leg to find your alignment. Steady out through pelvic position. And when you feel you're there, here we go. The knee to knee is always different. My back knee, that's the knee that has to bend and deepen to the muscle that goes over that joint. I've had surgery on this knee. We all have wear and tear, either accidental injury or just the way life goes. You must only let the quad work with you to the length and depth that there's no pain. That means no sharpness. Grinding sometimes, if it's just part of your life, I kind of accept it, although I'd rather it wasn't there. Whichever way, it's the rectus femoris, the muscle that goes from the hip bone here, right over the knee. My right heel is pressing into the ground, and up you come. Now ready for hamstrings. Breathe, find your poise, find the reach for the hamstrings. I'm going to do the opposite side first again. So this time I'm using the left leg behind me, find my squat, and it's a push, under push.
Notice if you tend to drift over to the right.
Because your left leg's working, because you're not meant to. And that would suggest that you're actually not working your trunk stability and your breathing muscles are inefficient. One more. And you're going to change, step the leg back, symmetry. And here we go. The heel flexes at the ankle, the knee bends, and the thigh wants to almost lift into the band. Again, the sensation of refusing to twist. You keep the standing leg as your dominance, outer thigh. Okay, and we let that go. Ready for sides. Keep breathing, find the squat, and I realise I've done it in the different order, but here we go. You're going to tap. Add, if you can, an increase of the depth of the seat. It's like I'm trying to sit my bottom back and reach the muscle fibres into their longer line. I'm resisting with this leg that's staying almost static, staying in a bit of a squat, so that that side bottom stabilises whilst the exertion comes from the other side of the body. Changing, and remember the reach is horizontal across the floor, as it were. You straight line it. If you're posed as though both thighs are pulling out, you'll get what you need. Use the bar, the work surface, the chair, to keep the trunk symmetry, and let that go. And we're going to go into your side walk. So breathing, crouch it down. Are you ready? Keep breathing. Feel these big boys, and it's a tap. Remember, thigh, thigh. Slow it down. Slow it. Reach the leg. Reach the leg. Reach. Keep your absolute neutral. I'm just changing shape so that the pelvic position never changes. There's no shifting as your thighs, using the side bottom. You don't want your knees to knock together. Come on, we're nearly there. So my heels come towards each other, but you don't see the knees knocking. Are you ready? Two more. One more, and final activity. All fours, staying in your hands and knees, shoulders away from the neck, fingers are spread, thighs feel the band, and hover. You're going out, out, in. We're going to slow it right down, out, out, in. Keep pushing the ground away. Reach, reach, hollow those abdominals. Reach, reach, keep the pelvis still. Refuse to tuck the tailbone under. If you reach the star, that's my feet going as wide as my mat is. Shoulder blades, find your rhomboid, so that's the middle upper back. Abdominals work to stop you sagging your abdominals, keeping the support of the spine. This is your last one. Pull the knees in and reach your posture down.
Breathe deeply in and out. Deliberately allowing all of the tension
To leave your posture and the stretch to happen through the side of the bottom. Now obviously this workout ideally would be done with another activity, maybe one of your posture workouts. I'm going to follow this video with an abdominal HiiT, but right now the 3 legs can be used in isolation or top and tail with the posture video that suits you. Remember, all those videos are actually appropriate. You'll just have that target one that you might find definitely works where you need that work. Anyway, it's a goodbye from me yet again. Video 101 now live and posted, and we will see you soon. Stay well and take care.